Hello guys, welcome back to another Apex Legends video. In today's video we're going to be playing some Octane. Oh, looks like I'm getting a call. Let me quickly pick this up before I start playing. Oh, yep, boss, what's up? Oh, you want me to do a tier list today? You don't want me to make an Apex video. Oh, since we already did one today, you want me to just rank the guns? Really? Okay, yeah, okay, I'll let him know. Thank you. Bye. All right, guys. It looks like we're not going to be playing Apex today. It looks like we're going to be ranking some guns. So let's get into it. All right. So jumping into this tier list, we are going to be starting off with 5 tiers. We have S, A, B, C, D. I don't think a single weapon in this game is F tier. So it's just gonna be S, A, B, C, D, and I think we're gonna start off with the Wingman. Very strong gun. Oh wait, nope, that's the Mozambique. Okay, not a strong gun. Not so strong. So we got the Mozambique right here. Right? Alright, what do I think about this? The Mozambique, they tried to buff it by giving it 6 shots. Didn't really buff it. Every time I see this gun, don't pick it up unless I need a secondary. They took off the hammer point rounds, so it's really unusable now, so it's going to go straight to D tier. Right, next gun, the Mastiff. Oh, right, this one's going to be a little bit of a tough one. So the Mastiff, it recently did get nerfed. It used to be A tier in my opinion, before that 2 damage nerf, but I still feel like even after that nerf, it's still a good gun, but it's just so, how do I put it? Every time I shoot the gun, I feel like I get 55 damage or 85 damage, or like 86 damage. It's no in between, or I do like 7 damage, so I think I'm just gonna have to put it at B tier. I would pick it up, but the Peacekeeper and Eva are just a lot better than it, so it's just gonna go in B tier. Alright, next one is the Spitfire. Alright, so this gun, I'm gonna be honest, it's an amazing gun. If you ever find it, you should pick it up. It does a huge amount of damage. The only downside is you can't really crouch spam and shoot with it, but if you hip fire, you'll be fine. So I'm gonna, honestly, even after the 5 bullet nerf, that's an S tier gun. The Spitfire is S tier. It takes no skill. You can melt people. It does basically the same damage as a flatline, so you're golden if you can get this gun. Ooh, the L-Star. Now this might be an unpopular opinion, but I hate the L-Star. It's not a good gun in my opinion. I think it can fail you in situations. It's way too uncontrollable. Like you can't see when you're aiming with it, and it's just too many things you need, which make it a bad gun. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now I'm putting it above the Mozambique because I think you can, even if you get this gun and it's the only gun you have, you can do work with it. Right, next gun is going to be the Longbow. I say this is the mid tier for snipers. So, honestly, Longbow, it's gonna go C tier. There, 1 second. I just need to make it really small. So Longbow, C tier. Kind of deserves it. It's got good, like, it does 50 damage. It's just there's better guns than it, generally. Kraber, instant A tier. It's a great gun, I just think it fires a little bit too slow, and it's like you have to lead it a little too hard, but other than that, it's a great sniper. Ooh, we got the Hemlock. Now this might be the unpopular opinion of the list, but honestly, I fucking hate the Hemlock. It's such a shit weapon. It can do good damage and burst, but you need a sight, because the iron sights on this gun are terrible, so I'm going to put it in C tier. I generally can't use this weapon all that well unless I get a 2x scope on it. Alright, next one is the Havoc. Now, Havoc has been one of my favorite guns since the game came out. It's a little uncontrollable, but if you can hit your shots with this gun, you melt. But since there is that uncontrollability and you kind of do need a turbocharger if you want to destroy with this gun, I'm going to put it just behind the Kraber. Alright, we got the G37. And honestly, haven't used this gun since 3030 came out, or any guns. I don't pick it up, honestly. I'm gonna put it hard C tier. Just squish it. There we go. Okay, next on this list is the Eva 8. Same thing I said about the Mastiff. I'm gonna move all these back a little bit. I would rather pick up the Eva 8 than the Mastiff, but it's still an Eva 8. So we're just gonna put it right in front of the Mastiff. Alright, next on the list we have the Devotion. Okay, the Devotion, it's a good gun, but it is in no way better than the Hemlock. And it's honestly worse than the L-Star. I think I'm going to put it C tier. I'm going to put the Devotion D tier, honestly. It takes forever to wind up, and then on top of that, the damage is alright, and then you need a magazine size to, you know, compensate for the amount of times you're going to be missing with it and shooting with it, and it just doesn't have that. So I'm going to put the Devotion in D tier. Alright, we have the laser beam rifle, can't remember its name, but the charge rifle. Honestly, better than a longbow, but not better than really a Kraber or a Hemlock, so I'm going to put it at the end of B tier. I think it fits there. The Bocek. Okay, this gun is insane. It does the damage, it did the damage of the Sentinel. It fires almost hit scan, and you can just laser people, and then even when you're up close, it fires fast enough to be a relatively good close range situation gun. So honestly, even after the 70 damage nerf, Bocek is S tier. And honestly, I'm gonna put it above the Spitfire. Because if you can aim with this gun, if you can aim with that Bocek, you are going to melt your opposition. Same thing with Spitfire. Bocek's a little bit harder, but it's got a higher skill ceiling. So, yeah. Alright, Alternator. Love the Alternator. Great early game gun. Amazing for early game fights. And you can honestly use it in late game if you really wanted to. I will always pick it up over the R9. I always pick up an R9 or a R301 over it. But for early game, it gets to be at the bottom of A tier. The 30-30 repeater. Now, I cannot in my right mind ever put this above the G37. Because honestly, I hate this gun. It is terrible. So we are going to put it right behind the G37 in C tier. I hate the gun because it just has a weird firing pattern. I can never hit enemies with it, and it's never really seemed good to me. This gun was notably an S tier gun. I've always felt that it was kind of S tier, but I mean recently, there's other guns that have been doing so great, and that also once they took away those skull piercer rounds, it's not as good anymore. So I'm gonna honestly place that at the top of A tier. Alright, we got the Volt, and honestly, I don't even need to argue, that's S tier. Okay, Flatline, don't need to argue, S tier. No, actually. Flatline, even though it's got a great recoil pattern for hipfire, it's been missing a lot with me. So I'm gonna, honestly, it's gonna go in A tier. It's gonna be that top of A tier. It's a great gun, but it's just not good enough to outperform some of the guns that are on S tier. Alright, the Triple Take. Ever since they put it in that loot crate, D tier. Haven't touched the gun. It was one of the best snipers you could get, but now that it's in the crate, I would always pick up this gun. I'd always just pick up this gun right over this gun. It's just, I don't like it anymore, and since they put it in the crate, it's just so unavailable, and it's just not good. Alright, we have the Sentinel, arguably the best sniper on the list. I'm going to put it in A tier because of that new attachment it just got, and it just does so much headshot damage, and then you can amplify all of the damage with the shield cells. So it's an amazing gun that deserves A tier. Not quite as good as this one, but pretty damn close. Alright, R301. Like, do I even need to argue? R301 is easily S tier. I'm going to put it, honestly, above Spitfire. It is such a reliable and easy to use gun that it deserves its placement. You cannot tell me that the R301 is not a S tier. It is reliable, the recoil is great, the damage is great, the fire rate is great. Everything about the R301 is just the good old reliable that everyone, when they see it, they will pick it up. Alright, the RE45. This gun, not D tier, sorry. It is going to go at the end of B tier. It's a great early game gun, but I am never going to be using it past like round 10. Or like when there's 10 people left. R99. I have seen a lot of S tier compilations that put it in A tier, not S tier. And I'm just gonna have to say, I agree. It's the top of A tier, but sometimes it does not perform good enough to be considered a S tier weapon. There's other guns that can outperform it, like the Volt and the R301, and it just doesn't deserve the placement of S tier currently. Now, if they up the damage or upped the fire rate or upped the ammo capacity, which I don't think they should, I think it is a very balanced and fair gun, and it does its job well, and it's perfect in that position. Alright, we have the Prowler SMG. Now, this gun is insane. It does an amazing amount of damage, and with that 5-round burst, it earns itself an easy S tier. Right in front of the Volt, but not in front of the Spitfire. Okay, next gun. We have the Peacekeeper. I'm just going to be honest, S tier. Easily S tier. Such a great shotgun. Reliable. I've only had a few times where it's just failed me completely, and I haven't been able to... What the fuck? Okay, let's just get rid of that. Alright, but yeah, there's only been a few times to where I haven't been able to use it to its full potential, and I've gotten like maybe 9 damage on it. And honestly, sometimes I think that's my fault, so in the end, it is a great gun, and it deserves to be S tier. Okay, let's just place it in there. Then I think we have one gun left. Let's see what it is. And it is the P2020, which is going straight to the bottom of D tier. It is one of the worst guns in the game, and I don't think it deserves to ever be seeing the light of day. It is a terrible gun, and you should never use it. I would rather use my fist than use it. So this is the Apex Legends gun tier list. We have the Bocek at number 1 in the S tier. Honestly, actually, I'm gonna just do something real quick. There. We have the R301 at number 1. Then we have the Bocek. We have the Spitfire, Peacekeeper, the Prowler, and then we have the Volt, which I think this is a very fair lineup for guns. And then we have the R99, the Flatline, the Wingman, which is a very good top 3, and then we have these guns, which all perform well, but they're just not top of A tier. Then we have the EVA 8, which is a great shotgun, but it's just nothing notable. It gets good damage, good average damage. It takes just a few shots to kill people, so that's good. And behind it, we have the Mastiff, but unfortunately, it just can't pull out the spot to be quite top of B tier potential. Then we have this. We have the Charge Rifle, the Hemlock, and the RE45, which perform well, but just not good enough. C tier, we have the L-Star, which I think is the top of C tier. It does good damage. It's hard to control though, so it just doesn't hit B tier. We have the Longbow, the Flatline, and the Longbow, Flatline, and the 3030 Repeater, which I think are good guns. They're just not quite it. They sometimes have that thing about them where they just don't do good enough for me. They're never able to finish kills. They never do anything. Season 4 Flatline would be A tier, but it's just not at that point anymore. All right, then in our D tier we have the Devotion, the Mozambique, the Triple Take, and the P2020, which I think are all fair positions. And that, my guys, is my S tier list. Let me know if you disagree or agree with my opinions. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. And bye-bye. Peace out.